Think Verizon is expensive? Think again. Anyone can bring their AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. So bring us your bill. Walk in, run in, pogo stick in, teleport if you can. Ride on the back of a rollerblading yak or fly in on the wings of a majestic falcon. Any way you can, bring your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal on the best network. Based on RootMetrics Best Overall Mobile Network Performance, U.S. second half 2025. All rights reserved. Must provide very recent postpaid consumer mobile bill in the name of the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
It's the new year, and Instacart is here for whatever your new routine looks like. Maybe it's committing to the after-work workout, or trying plant-based recipes, or just having fresh ingredients in the fridge. Because with Instacart, you get time back, you can filter shopping by dietary preferences, and never run out of what you need. So whatever your new year plan is, Instacart is here to make it just a little more possible. Download the Instacart app today. Actual dietary information may vary. Always check product packaging.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
You know what's wild? Most people are still overpaying for car insurance just because it's a pain to switch. That's why there's Jerry. Jerry's the only app that compares rates from over 50 insurers in minutes and helps you switch fast with no spam calls or hidden fees. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Before you renew your car insurance policy, do yourself a favor. Download the Jerry app or head to jerry.ai/ACAST.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Hello, I'm Sarah and welcome to the Whispering Woods After Dark. I've got one long story today. It's a good one. Really, really interesting. Don't know what happened. Wish I'd have been there. Wish I'd have seen it. Are they all making it up? Is it mass hysteria? I really don't know. This episode is about Our Lady of Fátima. I'll get straight into it. Are you ready for the story? A chill runs through the drenched crowd as the rain suddenly comes to a stop. An estimated 70,000 souls, farmers, children, skeptics and churchgoers, stand packed in a muddy field under a grey sky. It is high noon on October the 13th, 1917, in Fátima, Portugal. Moments ago, sheets of cold rain had turned the ground to muck and soaked everyone to the bone. Now it's like an unseen hand has swept them aside. The charcoal clouds break open. A thin veil of light drapes over the sun, turning the fierce glare into a pale disk easy to gaze upon. Multicoloured rays spill out across the landscape, dancing over the upturned faces of the crowd. For a moment, there is an eerie, expectant hush. Then the sun begins to move. Gasps rip through the crowd. The sun whirls in the sky, spinning like a colossal pinwheel. Colours shift from gold to purple to brilliant blue, painting the rolling hills in ghostly stained glass hues. An astonished reporter from Lisbon later writes of a silver sun that careened among ragged clouds, casting blue and purple lights, as if through the stained glass windows of a cathedral onto the kneeling throng. Suddenly, a terrified cry rises. The sun is hurtling toward the earth. The blazing orb breaks loose from the firmament and plunges in a zigzag, spiraling closer and closer. A wave of panic sweeps the field. Screams of fear and prayers of desperation fill the air as many drop to their knees in the mud, convinced the end of the world is upon them. Just as abruptly, the fiery orb jerks back to its place in the sky and stills. The dance of the sun is over. In its wake, the crowd is left shaken and sobbing, some in ecstatic joy, others in abject shock. They notice that, impossibly, their soaked clothes are now completely dry. Awe and dread intermingle under the bright, ordinary sun that now shines down on the miracle sun, as it will come to be known. Our story begins in the remote hamlet of Aljustrel, a scatter of stone cottages near Fátima in central Portugal. The year is 1917. Europe is bleeding in the trenches of the Great War, and even Portugal has been dragged into the conflict. Home, a fiercely anti-clerical regime rules the land. Church bells silenced, monasteries shuttered, faith pushed into the shadows. In this tense atmosphere, 3 shepherd children tend their sheep in the green rolling highlands. Lucia dos Santos, aged 10, and her younger cousins Francisco Mato, 9, and Jacinta Mato, 7, are ordinary village children, playful, devout, and accustomed to long days outdoors. Unbeknownst to them, their names will soon be known around the globe. On May 13th, 1917, around the noon hour, the 3 are grazing their flock in a sunlit hollow called Over da Iria. The spring sky is clear and blue. As Lucia later recounted, suddenly there came a flash like lightning, ripping across the clear sky. Startled and thinking a thunderstorm is brewing, the children hastily gather the sheep to head for home. But before they can flee, a second blinding flash stops them in their tracks. The air crackles with static. In the silence that follows, a small oak tree on the hillside begins to glow with an unearthly light. Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta gaze upward, and their mouths fall open. There, hovering just above the twisted branches of a holm oak, stands a figure dazzlingly bright. In Lucia's words, it is a lady dressed in white more brilliant than the sun. The lady seems made of light herself. Luminosity drapes her like a mantle, shining so intensely that the children can hardly look away. Yet the lady's face is not blinding. It is beautiful beyond words, with a serene, serious expression that is neither sad nor joyful. Her hands are pressed together in prayer at her chest, a rosary of gleaming beads dangling from her fingers. Everything about her glows with a soft radiance that illuminates the little hollow in an unnatural stillness. The children stare in fear and wonder. They are alone on the hillside with this mysterious lady, and a feeling of gentle peace washes over them even as their hearts pound. Then the lady speaks. "Do not be afraid," she says softly, her voice clear like music. "I will not harm you." Relieved by her kindly tone, Lucia, the eldest, braver than her trembling cousins, finds her voice. She asks who this lady is and what she wants. The radiant figure replies that she comes from heaven, pointing toward the sky. She has a request. Come to this spot on the 13th day of each month for the next 6 months, at the same hour. Later I shall tell you who I am and what I want, the lady promises. I shall return here yet a 7th time. The lady's message grows urgent. She asks the children a question that chills them. Do you wish her to offer yourselves to God, to endure all the sufferings he may send you, in reparation for the sins by which he is offended, and in supplication for the conversion of sinners? Wide-eyed, the little ones exchange glances and then nod yes. They will do whatever this beautiful heavenly visitor asks of them. The lady affirms gently that great suffering will come, but the grace of God will be their comfort. As she says this, the lady opens her hands, and an intense light pours forth, engulfing the children. Lucia would later struggle to describe that moment. A penetrating light, shining, more clearly than we can see ourselves in the best of mirrors, seemed to invade their chests and even their souls. The children feel bathed in a divine presence, and spontaneously they cry out a prayer of adoration. Before departing, the lady delivers a final instruction, one that directly links to the turmoil of the outside world. Pray the rosary every day, she urges the children, to obtain peace for the world and the end of the war. Beyond the tranquility of this valley, the Great War rages across Europe. The lady's words suggest that these humble peasant children have a role to play in bringing peace. With that, the lady slowly rises above the oak, the radiant glow around her cleaving a path through the sky. The children watch transfixed as the vision fades into the distance, toward the east, until only the normal golden sunlight remains. For a long time, Lucia, Francisco and Jacinta remain riveted to the spot, astonished, exhilarated, and a little scared. The world around them feels changed. The air seems purer, the colours of the field sharper. Finally, clutching their rosaries, they make their way back to the village, herding the sheep in silence. They have just become guardians of an immense secret. How can 3 young children explain what they saw? Who would ever believe them? It doesn't take long for the whispers to spread. Little Jacinta, unable to contain her excitement, blurts out to her mother that they saw a beautiful lady from heaven. Francisco's father, on hearing the tale, is inclined to believe. Something about the earnest way his normally quiet children describe the lady in white moves him deeply. Lucia's parents are more sceptical. A devout mother, fearing her daughter has told a terrible lie or a childish fantasy, scolds and even punishes Lucia, trying to force her to recant. But Lucia can only weep and insist her story is true. In the close-knit village of Fátima, news of the strange encounter over the Iria travels quickly. Neighbours say that the children might have seen the Virgin Mary, while others snicker that it's a hoax or an imaginative game gone too far. As the 13th of June approaches, a small crowd gathers to accompany the children. What if the mysterious lady returns as promised? By now, about 50 curious onlookers trail behind Lucia, Francisco and Jacinta as they head out to the pasture on June 13th. The summer sun beats down on the rocky hills. Some villagers carry umbrellas and laugh nervously, half expecting nothing to happen at all. The children themselves are anxious. Lucia has been praying fervently that Our Lady will come back, lest she be branded a liar and the whole village disappointed. When the appointed hour nears, the little group rosary is interrupted by a sudden change in the atmosphere. Those present later report that the noonday sun dimmed, as though someone had turned down a heavenly lamp for a few minutes. The air cools unexpectedly. Right on schedule, the 3 children gasp and fall to their knees, gazing at something invisible to others. They see the lady once more, descending in light to stand above the small oak tree. Many in the crowd perceive something odd at that moment. The upper branches of the oak bend gently. A few people hear a faint, indistinct sound, like a gentle whisper or a buzzing like bees in an empty jar, coming from the direction of the children and the tree. Most of the crowd, though straining their eyes, see no lady, but a hushed awe falls over them. They know something uncanny is unfolding before their eyes. Before Lucia, the lady in white is as vivid as before, her face kind but solemn. The children listen attentively, speaking softly with the apparition. Though much of their conversation will remain private, Lucia would later recall that the lady again urged them to pray the rosary daily, and spoke of the importance of devotion to her Immaculate Heart, which would be refuge in troubled times. The lady also confides to the children a glimpse of their own destiny. She tells Lucia that Francisco and Jacinta will be taken to heaven soon. She will call them home in the near future, leaving Lucia to carry on her mission on earth a while longer. The children are sad at this revelation, but the lady reassures them gently. She asks them to continue coming each month and promises that in October she will perform a miracle so that all may believe. The mention of a great miracle electrifies the children and the few bystanders who overhear the word miracle, murmured by Lucia. After the radiant lady departs into the sky once more, the children turn to the expectant onlookers. "Did you see her? Did you see the lady?" Jacinta asks eagerly. The others shake their heads no, they saw nothing. But many excitedly report the strange dimming of the sun and the odd behaviour of the tree. A local farmer asserts he heard a buzzing sound right before Lucia began speaking with the empty air. These signs are enough to convince some skeptics that the children might just be telling the truth. Others remain dubious, suspecting a collective imagination or some natural trick. Still, the word spreads through beyond Fátima that something natural is happening on the 13th of each month in Cova de Iria. July 13th, 1917, the third apparition, dawns under a blazing summer sun. By now the crowd has swelled. Dozens of people from neighbouring villages, and even some from distant towns, converge on the site, hoping to glimpse a miracle, or at least to witness the ecstatic faces of the young seers. Shortly before noon, Lucia, Francisco and Jacinta arrive and kneel in the now familiar spot. The pattern repeats, a bright flash, the children's joyful cry of "she's coming," and then a profound stillness. Many witnesses later swear that a small greyish cloud materialised above the oak. At the very moment the children saw the lady, the sunlight again dimmed mysteriously, and a cold breeze swept through the sweltering summer air. One of the onlookers on that day is Timato, the father of Francisco and Jacinta. He would later recall his astonishment. When the third apparition began, a little cloud formed over the tree. The sun lost its splendour, and a refreshing coolness crossed the hills, even though it was the height of summer. He too heard the low humming sound, like distant flies buzzing in a jug, while his children enrapturedly gazed at the lady. The crowd watches in silence as Lucia appears to be speaking with someone. Jacinta's eyes brim with tears at one point, and Francisco's face goes pale and solemn. Clearly something grave and intense is being communicated. July the 13th will go down as a turning point in this mystery. On this day, the Lady in White entrusts the children with secrets. Revelations so startling that the children are shaken. Lucia later admitted that upon seeing one of these visions, Jacinta let out a sob and burst into tears, and even courageous Lucia was left trembling. Though the children told no one of the content of these 3 secrets at the time, we now know that the lady's revelations were apocalyptic in nature. First, she granted them a terrifying vision of hell, a glimpse into a sea of fire filled with anguished souls. Second, the lady spoke of the Great War ravaging Europe and made a prophecy. World War would soon end, but if people did not cease offending God, a worse war would break out under the reign of the next pope. To prevent this, she warned, Russia must be converted and consecrated to her Immaculate Heart, lest that nation spread its errors throughout the world, fomenting wars and persecution of the Church. In 1917, this mention of Russia was puzzling. The country was in upheaval in its own revolution. Few could imagine how its errors might trouble the entire globe, but tragically the rise of atheist communism would later fulfill this prophecy. Lastly, the lady revealed a third secret, one kept completely hidden from everyone but the children. The seers were strictly instructed not to tell this final secret to anyone just yet. It was a mysterious vision of a future suffering, one that would only be fully disclosed decades later, involving a bishop in white and a hill of crosses. At that moment in 1917, however, all that anyone in the crowd could see was Lucia and her cousins, stricken and silent, nodding in acceptance of some grave burden placed upon them. When the lady departs in July, the children are noticeably shaken. Lucia, usually composed after the apparitions, appears upset, and little Jacinta is sobbing quietly. Family members rush forward to comfort them, but the children cannot reveal what they have seen. They only urge everyone to pray very much, and assure them that the lady said she would return next month. Word of the 3 secrets leaks out. The lady confided special messages to the children. Many assume it must concern dire warnings or great miracles to come. The authorities, both religious and secular, begin to pay close attention. The local parish priest, still sceptical, worries the children could be part of a deception or even diabolical trickery. The anti-religious government officials see the further growing around Fátima and consider it dangerous in a country trying to stamp out Catholic influence. Unbeknownst to the children, powerful eyes are watching their every move. August the 13th, 1917. The promise of another apparition has drawn the largest crowd yet to Fatima's fields. Some sources say thousands flock to the Cova de Iria on that day. Pilgrims arrive on foot and by cart from all over Portugal. Many carry rosemaries, some bring the sick hoping for a cure. Also present, lurking at the fringes of the crowd, are agents of the civil authorities. The secular officials have had enough of what they see as religious fanaticism, stirred up by 3 unsupervised children. The local administrator, Arthur de Olivier Santos, is a particularly staunch skeptic of the church, and he is determined to put an end to what he believes is mass hysteria, best, or a cunning fraud at worst. As noon approaches, the assembly waits for the 3 visionaries to arrive, but they do not come. Confusion ripples through the people. Where are Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta? At that moment, unbeknownst to the crowd, the children are miles away in the back of a rattling carriage, essentially kidnapped by Administrator Santos. He had approached the naive children earlier that day under the pretense of giving them a ride to the site to avoid the crowds. Instead, he whisked them to a town of Villa Nova de Aurum. There the children are detained in the municipal building. Frightened and confused, they face harsh interrogation. Santos demands that they confess to making everything up. He threatens them with prison, and when they refuse to recount their story, his tactics grow more sinister. According to later testimonies, he even threatens to boil them alive in oil if they do not divulge the lady's secrets and admit the truth of the alleged hoax. The children, trembling but steadfast, refuse to lie or betray the lady's trust. Neither threats of death nor days behind bars can shake their story. They insist they have spoken to Our Lady from heaven, and they will not recount. Back at Fatima, the crowd that gathered on August the 13th grows restless. The appointed time passes with no children, and seemingly no apparition. A few scattered observers later report that something odd did occur at the empty cova around the expected hour. A loud thunderclap was heard, and a flash of light streaked across the sky, and some said they saw a small white cloud suddenly appear above the oak tree. Apart from these mysterious signs, however, there was no message. The lady did not speak that day. The throng eventually disperses, some people angry or disillusioned, others confused and more curious than ever. What had happened to the children? 2 days later, after intense public pressure and the realization that holding 3 beloved village children might spark revolt, Administrator Santos releases Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta. Tired but triumphant in their silent resistance, the children return home as local heroes. Their ordeal only hardens the conviction of their families and neighbours that something truly heavenly is at work. Why else would the authorities go to such lengths to stop it? The lady does not abandon her appointment with the faithful. On August 19th, just a few days after their release, the children are together in a nearby hamlet named Valinhos, when suddenly Lucia senses the lady's presence. With Francisco and Jacinta, she rushes to a shaded spot beneath an oak. There, Our Lady appears to them for the fourth time, slightly off schedule, but radiant as ever. She gently tells the children to continue the monthly visits and repeats her request for prayer and penance. Though it is an unscheduled apparition with no crowd present, a few villagers with the children witness the familiar signs. The diminishing sunlight, the globe of light that some later say they saw hovering above the tree, and the ecstatic faces of the children transformed by another encounter with the divine. The Lady of Fátima also makes a sad announcement during the August apparition. Pray much and make sacrifices for sinners, she urges, because many souls are in danger of damnation. She promises that in October, she will perform the promised miracle for all to see, so that everyone will believe. With that reassurance, the children know the grand moment is yet to come.
Think Verizon is expensive? Think again. Anyone can bring their AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. So bring us your bill. Walk in, run in, pogo stick in, teleport if you can. Ride on the back of a rollerblading yak or fly in on the wings of a majestic falcon. Any way you can, bring your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal on the best network. Based on Root Metrics best overall mobile network performance, U.S. second half 2025. All rights reserved. Must provide very recent postpaid consumer mobile bill in the name of the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
You know what's wild? Most people are still overpaying for car insurance just because it's a pain to switch. That's why there's Jerry. Jerry's the only app that compares rates from over 50 insurers in minutes and helps you switch fast with no spam calls or hidden fees. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Before you renew your car insurance policy, do yourself a favor. Download the Jerry app or head to jerry.ai/ACAST.
Yes, and I'm really sorry, it is a two-parter because it's quite a long one. But you won't have to wait long because the story will continue tomorrow. Love to know what you think about this. What was it these children were seeing? What was it that the villagers were seeing? Or was it just kind of mass hysteria that something was happening? Because I can see that angle as well. I'd like to think it was some angelic being coming down. There are so many warnings. We need to cover some of the other warnings from the aliens. And I will do that in future episodes. But for now, that's it. And I will catch you again tomorrow. Take care, everyone.
Youth mental health is a complex challenge that requires comprehensive solutions. We must strengthen after-school programs. We must make digital literacy tools available in our schools. We must work with mental health professionals to support children. And we must empower mentors, educators, and parents to keep kids happy. Learn more about our commitment to finding lasting solutions at empowerourfuturecoalition.com/solutions. Paid for by the Coalition to Empower Our Future.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Styles Mackenzie helping you make those rooms sing. Today's style tip. When it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild, like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Arr, fierce. This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home. In Baltimore, a long walk is called a bop. And as travelers take a bop to Baltimore, you'll find museums like the Reginald F. Lewis and Great Blacks and Wax to see more of the past and be more of the future. Walk through streets where Harriet and Billy are staples in our arts and culture. You have lasting memories waiting for you here. Now grab the free bop pass for exclusive deals and discounts to Black History museums, attractions, restaurants, and shops in Baltimore. Get your free pass at baltimore.org. Maryland, be open for it.
The stories told on the Whispering Woods are inspired by historical records, witness reports, and local folklore. While every effort is made to research and represent events accurately, some details, names, and locations may differ from official accounts or have been changed out of respect for those involved. These episodes are created for storytelling and entertainment purposes and should not be considered definitive fact or investigative journalism.